I'm Joshua Harris, a licensed insolvency trustee, and for this week's trustee tip, I'm going to be talking to you about joint debts in a consumer proposal or bankruptcy. This is something people ask about all the time. You went to get a loan, a vehicle, or anything of the sort, and you weren't approved. So they asked you to get a cosigner or a guarantor. Of course, at the time, you had no issue getting that. Maybe a friend, a family member, or a spouse signed that document for you. But what happens when you're ready to go insolvent by filing a consumer proposal or a bankruptcy? Well, a lot of people may think that the cosigner or guarantor is not responsible, but that's incorrect. The way a joint debt works is that both parties are joint and severally liable for the full amount. Now we're talking about that severable portion, because when you file an insolvency, you are severing yourself from that debt, meaning you are no longer going to owe that debt through the insolvency process. So the other party becomes responsible for whatever portion is going to be left over after the insolvency is complete. Now this can often be a very difficult calculation. Let's take some broad numbers as an example. You borrowed $10,000 and you had a cosigner. You're doing a consumer proposal in which you owe $50,000. So that $10,000 loan only represents 20% of your debt. Now, if we were to offer your creditors $10,000 recovery on the consumer proposal, then you'd be looking at about $2,000 of that going towards the loan, meaning the cosigner or guarantor is going to be responsible for that other $8,000. And once you file that consumer proposal or bankruptcy, they're going to start pursuing your cosigner or guarantor to try to get that money. And they're also allowed to charge that person interest. So don't forget to tell your trustee if a debt is cosigned or guaranteed, because you're going to want to know about this. Now remember, this doesn't stop your cosigner or guarantor from filing their own consumer proposal or bankruptcy, or in some cases, filing a joint consumer proposal or bankruptcy with you. So talk to your trustee about the options. See what you can do to get the least risk for your family members or friends. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more trustee tips on a weekly basis.